everyone. Good evening, Ma'am Linda Palomino. So, we are here to discuss how socially aware we are in the problems that we are encountering right now. So, today, this is the group of Maria Maximina Naval. I'm the leader, and also I have members here, Jillian Napa, Ana Marie Pianyar, Ramon Pestañez, and Evelyn Rabosa. So, right now, I have here Jillian Napa to explain the major problem that we are having as of today in the Philippines, or this is the major problem that we are encountering right now, which is poverty.
Thank you, Maria Maximina. So, I'm here to discuss to you about the issues and concerns of our country today. What is social issue? Social issues are any condition or behavior that negatively affect individual, groups, and communities. A social issue is a problem that affects many people within a society. It is a group of common problems in present-day society and ones that many people strive to solve. It is often the consequence of factors extending beyond an individual's control. So these social issues are problems what we are facing right now, not only in our country, but all over the world. Our group has chosen these social issues because we believe these issues are the most controversial issues we have to prevent for the better future. So here are some social issues and concerns in the Philippines: poverty, lack of education, drug or substance abuse, climate change, crime, unemployment, inequality, and corruption. So here is our problem three. It shows the social issues that we chose in our group and we have in our country today. It shows the problem, which is the poverty, the major problem, and the causes, corruption and income inequality, and the effects is lack of education and unemployment. So let's proceed to the major problem, which is poverty. Poverty refers to the deprivation of common necessities that determines the quality of life. State one who lacks a usual or socially acceptable amount of money or material possession. One of the most pressing problems not just in our country but the world today. People cannot afford basic necessities. It defined as the financial condition of a person insufficient to sustain the vital needs of his or her own family. Filipinos are having a hard time surviving in such difficult conditions, and more are failing into extreme poverty until today. So high poverty rates can be a damper or on economic growth and associated with problems like any other social issues. So to know what are the causes of poverty, so my group will discuss to you about the causes of poverty. Uh, and it will be tackled by Maria Maximina.
Alright, so let me have here the next slide, please. Alright, so the next are a cause of the problem that we are encountering right now is the corruption. Alright, so alright. So the major problem that we have right now is poverty, and one of the causes is corruption. Alright, so corruption is caused by man-made factors like capitalism, lack of transparency and accountability, and nepotism. Tribalism, poverty, weak social and political structures, and also development or the poverty. So this vice lowers the pace of national development, weakens societies, and increases poverty. So, Transparency International defines corruption as an act that abuses the entrusted power of private gain. So, this means that it violates the rights of individuals that have bestowed power, authority, and legitimacy. So, corruption varies degree and nature depending on the level of the circumstances or occurrence, and then people involved and circumstances that motivate individuals to be corrupt. So, modernization has transformed corruption, and people adapt now or new and complicated ways of concealing their fraudulent activities. So, the paper presents the causes and effects of corruption in the public and private sector. So, usually, the effects of corruption is violating the rights and freedoms of individuals to get basic services from public and private offices. So, this means that this practice compromises the quality of services offered by employees in the public and private sectors. So, corrupt officials do not offer equal services to clients because they treat some with more interest than others. And then this violates the provisions of equality and the rights of justice because they treat some with more interest than others. And so this is the effects of the corruption to us right now. And I have here the next presenter, which is Ramon. I'm sorry, Anna Marie Pianyar. Okay, to further explain the problem or cause, which is inequality or income inequality.
Alright, so hi, good evening everyone. My topic that I've been going to discuss that would be under and then specifically I chose the income inequality, which is a global issue with the several causes including historical racism, unequal land distribution, high inflation, and stagnant wages. So the world needs to take actions in education, labor market policies, uh, tax reforms, and higher wages. So I already prepared here the causes of inequality um, in the Philippines. So that would be the connection with corruption. And the main cause of income inequality in the Philippines is a political culture. And for the second one, it is a spoils system, which is based on relationships between leaders of political parties to the politicians and local elites. And then for the second one, I put down the what is the income inequality in the Philippines. So that would be the extent to which income, so most commonly measured by the household or individual, is distributed in an uneven manner in the Philippines. So for the third one, I have here on how we can solve the income inequality in the Philippines. So, so we can able to solve that. We can reduce the inequality by increasing social benefits, such as raising a minimum wage, increasing social security for poor, and working all of the middle class people, increasing unemployment compensation, and providing more college grants and loans for people. So, in addition, based on my understanding and my opinion, I believe that income inequality refers to how unevenly income is distributed throughout a population, and the lesser equal the distribution, the greater the income inequality. So for the income inequality, it is often accompanied by wealth inequality, which is uneven distribution of wealth. So meaning to say that population can be divided up in a different ways to show different levels and forms of unequal income inequality, such as inequality by gender or race, and so on and so forth. So that would be for my topic. And then my colleague wanted to discuss the topic related about the lack of education. So go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I will tackle the one of the effects of poverty, which is lack of education and lack of educators. Uh, we believe that every child deserves access to quality education regardless of their background. In this day age, education is the key to unlocking one's true potential. Yet, sadly, many children in the Philippines face countless obstacles in their path to know knowledge, which is the lack of proper funding of the government for education that has resulted in dilapidated school buildings and outdated material. This creates an environment that hinders effective learning. And also the lack of educators or teachers are remain the major problem of the Department of Education. Imagine a classroom with empty desks, books waiting to be opened, and eager young minds hungry for knowledge, but no teachers to lead the way it is. It is heartbreaking reality nowadays. And also the cause of lack of education is poverty. Poverty is one of the reasons of lack of education here in the Philippines, with many families unable to afford even the most basic education, and these are the families live in the mountain and rice fields. The lack of education in the Philippines is not a problem can be solved overnight, but by raising awareness and proper funding for education, we can give the quality education for every children here in the Philippines. And to talk about another effects of poverty, our major problem, I will give the floor to Miss Evelyn.
All right. All right. Thank you for that, Ramon Pestañas. And right now we have here for another cause, which is Evelyn Rabosa to tackle the problem. You don't have an
Uh, unmute.
unmute. Unmute mo na. I'm sorry.
Sorry, sorry. Uh, Thank you, Miss Nabal, for the introduction. And next is one of the effects of poverty is unemployment, which is described as a situation where a person actively searches for employment but is unable to find work. Unemployment is considered to be a key measure of the health of the economy. And according to the Philippine Statistic Authority, last August 9, the Philippines unemployment rate inched up to 4.5 in June, bringing the total number of jobless Filipinos to 2.3 million. So it's a lot. And unemployment arises because of the major problem of our society, which is the poverty, by which people who are born rich are also the ones who can avail better education that results in good offer, while poor people stays poor, as they can afford to go to school and have a degree, where most of the company now is looking for. According to the study, also one cause of unemployment is overpopulation as well, where most of the people involved are in the line. So the next slide will be about how to prevent, and Isabel will discuss this.
All right. So thank you for that, Evelyn Rabosa. So let me just explain or summarize the sorry for that, the major problem that we talk about. So what should be number one is that what should be done to prevent the major problem from happening. So we can often prevent major problem or difficult situations from occurring, at least minimize the negative effects as an individual, and by anticipating problems and taking early or prompt action to solve them. And this is called being proactive. So rather than reactive. So being reactive means waiting until someone's situation occurs and then responding to it. So it's like waiting for the problem to come up, and then we will do a solution. But being proactive is creating or controlling a situation by causing something to happen rather than responding to it after it has happened. All right. So we also have here the next question, which is as a group, what we can contribute. All right. So as a group, we can contribute by volunteering. We can take food to the elderly and help who are in need, most especially the homeless, or serve meals at a shelter or charity to donate. And also, we can write a letter to fight for hunger. Start by encouraging friends and family to contact your other local representatives. And also, we can also contribute by choosing wisely the leader or the next leader that we're going to elect if there will be a next election, for example, like that. And then because that is the right of our as that is our rights as an individual to vote wisely. And the next is that so that the next leader will be we will not be corrupt anymore, and we will be having a bright and a great future ahead of us. All right, so thank you for listening, and this is the end of our presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Keep